Happy Thanksgiving to you guys who celebrate. I hope you're having, well, it's early in the morning, but I hope you have enjoy your holiday today. Today, I want to come on because I have messages about these karmic elders. Because I thought when you got old, you were supposed to be getting right with the Lord. Apparently not. But now this is about karmic mothers and karmic elders. This is not about the mothers and the grandmothers or the elders who were loving. I'm talking about the ones who projected on the kids, the ones that saw their daughters as competition and saw their sons as their spouses. Those are the ones I'm talking about. And the ones who were crazy with the projections, and the ones that caught the little girls fast and gossip and spread rumors about the child while the child is still young to influence how everyone sees that child. That's just like, unfortunately, that's a normal tactic. As far as, especially for the holidays, I mean, I know today is real early, Thanksgiving morning, but you need to be really careful if you're considering going around karmic elders now and even Christmas. It's going to be way worse around Christmas, I'll tell you why. But if you're still connected or loosely connected, if you have a bad feeling about going, because I know families do this because it's so many little plots going on within families now. But don't let anybody kind of guilt trip you into, oh, this is your family, you need to come do this, you need to come do that. No, actually, you have to kind of remember that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. A lot of people that have really karmic mothers or karmic elders in their family, y'all not even from the same system. You're in that family for a reason. And most likely to break generational curses. Because number one, this is what I want to get into. The reason why this is done is because elders, they're still kind of stuck on their childhood trauma. And everything is kind of forced onto the younger generation. Just like no matter what you experience, no matter what kind of trauma you went through, no matter what kind of projections you went through, if you even dared to say anything about it, you were chastised for that because you ate dinner and you had clothes on your back. So basically, since they never healed from their childhood wounds, it was like, oh, when I was young, we didn't have this. When I was young, we didn't have that. And if you said it doesn't matter, you could have went through all kind of trauma. But if you ate dinner and had clothes on your back, you were looked at as a horrible child. You got chastised even more because it's almost like, how dare you say anything because you have it good. The thing about it, they never did their healing from their trauma when they were young. So that was forced onto a younger generation, in which you could have very well, in a past life, you could have had a life that was 20 times harder than theirs 150, 200 years ago. But not only do you still have your issues from a past life, you also were forced to deal with their trauma too. And one of the main things with trauma, with the projections, that unfortunately is common, is normalized, is common. And like I said, if you eat dinner, you can't say anything about it. But one of the biggest things that we usually happen growing up is that they would intentionally shame you, especially when they got around their friends, other family members, or whoever. They always intentionally shamed you. The bad thing about that is, people think, oh, that's in the past. I went through this and went through that. But, for example, The frequency of shame is at the bottom of the root chakra, at the very bottom. And the only frequency lower than shame is death of the physical body. So if you're constantly shaming a child, you're literally putting blocks and debris in that child's root chakra. And if your foundation is cracked, that's going to affect every other chakra, meaning that's going to affect every area of your life. So a lot of people walking around here, generations, because you have like older ones my age, then youngers, and then what, like 3 generations walking around now, not like unknowingly having all of these blocks in their chakras that just came from things that have been normalized, but they shouldn't be normalized, because though their unhealed issues shouldn't have been forced on us. Now, why I say this is going to get real bad, because the frequency, this is getting like really, really intense. In the last week, we've had like at least 24, 25 coronal mass ejections. A lot of flux energies, a lot of solar winds, and a lot of ascension energies. So, like I said, this little old 3D reality, I mean, the 3D reality is changing right in everybody's faces. And the elders, like I said, unfortunately for a lot of these karmic mothers, they're really, really narcissistic, because they've always been held, no matter what trauma you went through, no matter what projections you had to go through, they were always held in high honor because they fixed you dinner and bought you some clothes. So they're not taking to this change good at all. I mean, a lot of people already caught hell when they were younger and still caught hell in adulthood. But now with the 3D reality crumbling, there is like for a lot of people, unfortunately, almost like an obsession to humble and see the younger generation miserable, especially with the women. And it's not just in the families I'm noticing, it's even when women go out. If they see a young woman, they like literally just start picking on her or complaining about her clothes. I mean, it's bad. I see it all the time. Just like once it's late, I mean, they only had one register open at Family Dollar, and she literally held the line up because she wanted the cashier to get mad so bad. And the cashier just stood back and was smiling at her, talking to her nicely. And that lady stood there forever, just going out of the way, putting her hands up, just trying to get her mad. And the fact that she couldn't get the girl mad, like, really, really pissed her off. So, for the ones who were like really toxic back then, it's bad. Now, it's a lot of stuff going on with life insurance policies. When it comes to gang stalking within families, I think I mentioned that in another video. When it comes to gang stalking within families, unfortunately, a lot of that is orchestrated and started by an elder in the family, because they have pull. You know, they always seen in high regard because the matriarch, so-called matriarch of the family. So everybody's just kind of following, a lot of manipulation going on. And you just be careful, because like right now, and if somebody would have told me 2 years ago that elders would have been this toxic, because unfortunately that's where a lot of magic is coming from too. Elders literally waking up pure hateful. You have some elders that are spend all day, every day, doing magic, spying, watching, getting a little flying monkeys to watch, and plotting and planning if that doesn't work. It is crazy. just like recently this popped up in my head because it was a conversation. Well, it was a one-sided conversation. She was talking to me, but I was just listening. I didn't, because I was shocked at what I heard. But this lady told me, this older lady, a while back, I was in high school. And now this lady, she was like really insecure. She was, really karmic. She was even jealous of her own sisters. And that's how she was with all women from her own background. She was just always really jealous and real competitive, but she was also one of the ones who had to constantly remind everybody that she was the only one in her family who graduated from college. So she was the human resource supervisor at a very large company. Yeah, I'm telling this one anyway, bitch. And I forget when she had told me. She said when she got applications, and if she saw a real ethnic name or what she considered a ghetto name, and actually it was only dealing with females, she said she threw the application away. And I was sitting there like, that's kind of messed up. And I didn't understand my abilities at the time because I was told I was crazy. But I had like an image where I started seeing women, and each of the women I saw had kids around her. But it was just the women and the kids. So that's when I realized that these were single mothers. And it's kind of, I went through like a range of emotion. It was like, when I had that little image, it went from like hopeful, optimistic, to nervous, to praying, then like kind of sad and despair. It's like she kind of strung these ladies like alone. They thinking, that they had a chance to get in, at least, to come test. And I'm like, these ladies were really hopeful and really wanted this job. I'm like, a lot of them were single mothers, not knowing that they never had a chance because their applications had been thrown away, that nothing had been looked at. She just looked at the very top and saw their name and threw it away. And it wasn't until it popped up in my mind, and I was like, wait a minute. That was a direct attack on younger women, because women of her generation didn't have those names. She came from the generation of, the Hattie Mae's and stuff like that. So I was like, that was a direct attack on younger women. Now, I was in high school. That was over 30 years ago. So when that popped up in my mind, I was like, and I thought about it, I was like, I wonder whatever happened to those ladies. I said, because those ladies could have been preparing for retirement, or never know, they could have already, retired after 25 so years, since it's been that was like 32 years ago. But fast forward to this energy, this lady is the same lady who, had her little attack launch. She was like gatekeeping the job if she already knew from the application that it was a younger woman. So she threw it away. Now you put that type of narcissism and karmic into this current frequency, this same lady is like literally obsessed with ritually killing her own daughter. And she did the same thing that a lot of elders do. Got groups of people, even a lousy ex, and that's their only focus. All these people, and that's her only focus all day, every day, which is a lot of these women, the karmics. Which is why the message I'm saying is that that I've actually been getting this one for like a week is that don't let other family members talk you in to a situation that you know it's not going to be for your highest good. Because number one, they built their whole life up off of lowering the frequency off of children. So now that the 3D look reality where they were these high matriarchs, now that's crumbling. They are like literally scrambling to come back and drain you back down to the bottom of the root chakra like they did when you were kids. And it's too much. I'll probably do an orca. Well, this one is kind of long. I'll probably separate it. But it's a lot of stuff with insurance policies going on. You guys need to be real careful. I would say, especially if you're doing the work that's not going to mix. And like I said, these things keep intensifying. That great solar flash, it's going to happen anytime. Anytime now. Because like I said in the other video, sun already locked and loaded. But I would definitely keep my distance from the karmic mothers, and instead of trying to make it up, if they hadn't like changed or been working on change, it's best just to separate yourself. Because right now, I'm gonna leave that link, because a lot of them they already been snatched up anyway. Those are vampiric beings running that vessel. That's why it's just such, those people that vibrate at a low frequency or soulless beings, that's all they do all day, all night. They're focused, doing work, trying to harvest off other people. It's about to get real. So just stay safe. I definitely wouldn't eat from nobody. Because like I say, it's too many plots and stuff going on with today, and even it's going to be going out through Christmas, because they need your energy. They need to put you back in that state that you were in when you were a child. And like I said, that's why so many people have blockages now. In my I did a video, the purpose of karmic relationships. I talk about that. It took me a long time to figure that out, but I was trying to, when I went inward, and I was trying to figure out why I kept attracting like toxic men who compete with women. And that was rooted in blocks I had in my root, sacral, and solar plexus. And that was from childhood. So I was like, wow, this whole time I've been attracting this riffraff. And it was because of blocks that I had got from childhood trauma. So unfortunately, that's where a lot of stuff is coming from. Like I said, it's extremely important now to get those first four. I'm done now. To get those first four cleansed. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoy your holiday, and I'll see you in the next.